The legislature special session is done for now, but the most divisive issue is not bathroom privacy. As KVUE political reporter Ashley Godot explains, this has people fighting over the meaning of Texas values.
Those disagreements about values often become contentious, from openly carrying handguns to gay marriage. And now, as one political expert put it, bathroom privacy is the state's current cultural war. Inside the Texas Capitol, lawmakers are often at odds while creating policy dictating values. Currently, the issue is bathrooms. Ross Ramsey, executive editor of the Texas Tribune.
This particular stage for disagreement between, in some measure between one group of Republicans and another group of Republicans is over, which restrooms transgender Texans should be using and when and under what circumstances.
The legislation didn't pass, but how did we get here? When did bathrooms become such a hot button issue?
The Obama administration triggered some of this. I think it was probably coming anyway, but triggered some of this with a directive from the Education Department that said, here's how you ought to do it in schools. And it didn't say you have to. It said if you do it this way, you're going to be in a better position for any litigation that might develop.
That order triggered action in some Texas schools. It was rescinded by President Trump, but schools kept their policies. And then there was HERO.
It was Houston Equal Rights Ordinance, and the motto for the people that were opposed to that ordinance was keep men out of women's bathrooms, which is a phrase we've been hearing over and over.
Houstonians voted to undo the ordinance. Now the issue of bathroom privacy is painted as a movement to protect women and children.
People of Texas don't want their children showering together in 10th grade, and they don't want men, we're not talking about transgender, they don't want sexual predators who would use that as a loophole to follow any of the women in this room into a bathroom. The people of Texas don't want that.
For Senator Lois Colcourse, the author of the bathroom bill, there's another issue, athletics, highlighted by the case of a transgender student named Mac Beggs, biologically born a girl but taking testosterone treatments. In spite of that, the University Interscholastic League made him wrestle with girls. Senator Colcourse, a former college athlete, wants to ensure fair play. Although it wouldn't have impacted Beggs' case, the bathroom bill she filed in the special session also prohibits students whose birth certificates say male from playing girls' sports.
Ask a female athlete if it's fair for her, after she's spent her lifetime trying to compete in a sport, if it's fair that a boy decides to play in her sport.
Opponents of bathroom legislation argue it's intended to discriminate against transgender Texans. Those opponents include law enforcement, who say there's no safety issue, and the business community came out in droves to oppose the bathroom bill during the special session, including numerous Fortune 500 companies from IBM to Nike, driving a wedge through the Republican Party.
We basically got a split in the Republican Party between social conservatives and business conservatives.
And a split in Republican leadership. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick partly forced the special session over the bathroom bill. Speaker of the House Joe Straus is backing the businesses, and he isn't alone.
Part of the reason that Straus went the way he went was because his sense of the House was that they didn't want to vote on this.
So where does Governor Greg Abbott fall?
He was in the position of a lot of members of the legislature who would like to have their business supporters and their voters harmonized before they vote on something. I don't want to split my family. I want everybody to get together on this, and then when you get together on this, then we'll vote. That's just not the case on the bathroom bill.
Eventually, Abbott sided with Patrick, but backed a watered-down version by Representative Ron Simmons that said cities and schools can't make their own bathroom policies. Still, he put bathroom privacy on the special session call, sending the message he wants it passed. And in the midst of a political campaign, some say it was a smart move.
It's useful to not have a conclusion to this. Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, and others have used this and will continue to use this as a fundraising device, as a vote-getting device, as a way in a political sense to do what, in a rough sense, politicians do.
Abbott's advantage, he hasn't lost the support of the business community, putting him in an ideal position. And while the legislation failed to pass, the issue of bathrooms in Texas is far from over.
We are done with this chapter. This book is not over. We're going to see this again in January 2019 in the regular session, and we're certainly going to see it in the March Republican primaries.
Leaving the future of bathroom privacy in Texas in the hands of the voters. While Speaker Strauss is being painted as the face of opposition to the bill, he's not the only Republican against it. More House Republicans voiced their opposition during this special session as the battle lines on this issue are being drawn. At the Capitol, Ashley Goodo, KVUE News.